AITA for serving a woman wearing a hijab a dish with bacon in it? 19F. I'm a full-time university student and I work at a popular chain restaurant in the US known for its never-ending soup, salad and breadsticks. At the time, we were also doing the never-ending pasta deal. Needless to say, it was super busy. During this shift, I got a table of 4, with an adult woman wearing a hijab. After giving the table enough time to review the menu, I took the order. The adult woman orders the chicken and shrimp carbonara. I immediately frown at this because the pasta she ordered has bacon in it. It says it on the menu. I didn't want to assume that she didn't eat bacon. I feel like I would have been the asshole if I assumed she couldn't eat the dish based on her appearance alone. She was the one who ordered it and she wasn't rushed on my end to pick a meal quickly. The description clearly states that there is bacon in the dish. I didn't say anything and just put the order in. I have a pretty severe allergy to peanuts and tree nuts. I make sure to read the ingredients and ask questions when picking a meal. Sometimes I even go as far as to let the server know about my allergy when I am trying something new. This table did not do this. Was it obvious? Maybe, but I feel that when working in the service industry, it's best to never assume. I simply did what I was asked. I brought the food to the table and she and her husband were furious. It was alarming. They were yelling enough to get the attention of other folks enjoying their meal in the dining room. Her husband requested to see my manager. My manager comped the meal and the table left the restaurant almost immediately. My manager sat me down after and gave me a write-up. My manager said that I should have made more of an effort to let her know that the dish had bacon in it. The table told her my actions were offensive as she almost ate the dish. I tried to explain to my manager that the guest ordered it. I never suggested the dish as an entree. I was a damned if I did, damned if I didn't situation. I think if I assumed she couldn't eat bacon or even acknowledged it, it would have came across as judgmental and rude. I don't think I deserved the write-up. Also, it was one of the busiest times of the year at this restaurant and I had other tables to tend to. I feel like my manager wrote me up to save her own ass. AITA? I'd make a complaint to your district manager for an unfair write-up. There was no way you could win in that situation. If it is not removed from your work file, then you know what they are. A lot of restaurants that could use a waitress and some even pay more. YTA. Don't be so scared. Just say something like, "That dish has bacon in it." Smile and then say, "I can ask if the chef can leave it out for you." We aim to please all our guests, they will be happy. Maybe even leave a good tip or tell your manager what a great server you have been. Nobody is going full hijab and then complain that the server assumed they were Muslim. NTA. If you have dietary restrictions, you should read more carefully or communicate that to your server. It's not on you to make assumptions about who eats what and why. Fuck your manager. It's not your job to worry about someone else's religious decisions. NTA. Plenty of Jewish people keep kosher in their home, but eat whatever they want when they are out. I assume it's the same with Muslim people. I agree it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Especially if you have any suspicions that it was a setup to get a meal comped. I, in Reddit conspiracy, believe they did this just to get a comp meal. NTA. She could, presumably read, ordered from the menu on her own, then got mad? She and her husband are assholes for taking out their irresponsibility. Okay, your manager should not have Western you up, nor should you have signed it. NTA. Because it's her responsibility. And therefore it was a reasonable assumption that if she didn't ask, then she has no problem with the listed ingredients. but for future situations, just realize that it's pretty easy to ask about dietary restrictions without bringing up someone's appearance or religion. I'm a person who doesn't look like he has any restrictions, but I still get asked that question by servers all the time, just in case. NTA. People's dietary restrictions, especially self-imposed ones, are their own responsibility to manage. Ask your manager if you should stereotype and make assumptions about the amount of handholding needed with all customers, or just Muslim ones. NTA. As a person who doesn't eat pork, I always double-check that whatever I order doesn't have pork or bacon in it, and confirm with the server. It's my own responsibility. NTA. You're supposed to guess people's diets based on what clothes they have on. Your manager is an asshole. Wholeheartedly NTA. She is an adult and could read enough English to order. She should have read the ingredients. It's not your job to police people's eating habits. I doubt this post is real because someone who says, "I have a pretty severe allergy to peanuts and tree nuts," should be following with, "I always have to tell the server about my allergy. Otherwise I'd die." Not buy. Sometimes I even go as far as to let the server know about my allergy. Anyway, if this is real, NTA. Those who have dietary restrictions should be upfront about it. NTA. You can't assume she doesn't eat bacon just based on her appearance or something she's wearing. The onus is on her, them to confirm ingredients. It's listed in the menu. There are plenty of people that are Muslim or even Jewish, but they eat things they're not supposed to, so how are you supposed to know? I'm not even reading this. YTA. You should have double-checked with her. Hijab is obvious and ignoring it puts you at risk of being accused of a hate crime. Peanut allergy isn't obvious, so you having to double-check or ask the server makes sense. NTA. If you had mentioned the bacon they would have complained that you assumed they hadn't read the menu. Many Muslims eat pork and drink alcohol, so SN assumption only based on the hijab would have been a bit too much. Absolutely NTA. It is not your place to know the dietary restrictions of every religion in the world. Nor is it your place to make assumptions based on your customers' outward appearances. They are grown adults and it is their place to ask questions and make sure what they order fits into their restrictions. They were looking for a reason to make a scene and would have if you had mentioned any ingredients or made assumptions based on their outward appearance. Honestly, I don't pay attention to others' dietary restrictions unless they bring it to my attention. I'm not in a service industry, but if I'm treating my coworkers to something, it's up to them to let me know what they can't, don't, won't, shouldn't eat. And if someone brings food in, I always verify that it doesn't contain ingredients I'm allergic to. My health is not anyone else's responsibility. Sorry you got written up for the customer's sake. The customer is not always right. You did the right thing, which, unfortunately, isn't always the right thing. NTA. But I always addressed allergies and food restrictions before I took orders. That way my managers and I knew that it was the guest's fault, not mine. NTA. You are not in charge of policing anyone else's food choices. It's absurd that you were written up. And honestly, you might want to file a complaint with our NTA. Seems like she just wants to put the blame on you because she embarrassed herself. You did everything right. If you have a dietary requirement, it's on you to make sure your server knows, and it's on you not to order something that literally has a food you are avoiding on it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.